Hey everybody, it's Matt Shu from Upright Health, and you're here with me today in my home where I'm going to show you another little hip stretch that you can do that can be really helpful when your groin feels tight, when your hips just feel really immobile, even when your back may feel a little bit irritated. This is a stretch you see variations of all over the place. If you're familiar with Kelly Starrett, he calls this an executive stretch. Basically, what you're trying to do is restore the ability to rotate in the hip joint. So, for example, if I'm trying to do this with my right side, what I'm trying to do is basically make it so that I can actually take my leg and then push it down this way. So, what you need to do is get seated in a chair. You just cross your leg up over the other knee. You're going to put your hand right up on that knee. You can take your other hand onto the ankle of the foot, and then you're just going to leverage gently down, down, down towards the floor. So you're just rotating, 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 rotating. And what you're going to feel is some sensations going on this right hip of your body wondering what the heck it is you are trying to do, because good Lord, man, we haven't done this in forever. So as you're holding it there, you want to be not trying to wince and ignore what's happening in your right hip. What you want to do is really pay attention to the sensations that you're getting and see if you can get those clumps of muscle that you feel to relax as you continue to hold that pressure. Okay. Now, one thing that you can do to play with this is actually move the leg over more to the side. So now my thigh is kind of pointing straight forward. And then you can leverage it again, getting it at a different angle. You want to be, in pretty much every stretch that you do, you want to be creative and exploratory, trying to figure out what it is your body likes to do and what it is that it doesn't like to do, and see if you can expand the range of what it likes to do so that you have more range of motion with control. Now, I mentioned the control part because I don't want you to just get yourself stupid flexible where you're overly flexible and you're not able to control your motions. And that's an important point to think about when we're doing this stretch. So what we're going to do to try to also encourage better control is then do the reverse of what we were just doing. So instead of just pushing the knee and leveraging the leg to get that range of motion, what we're going to do next is then take your hand and you're just going to provide an upward force for your knee to push into. So it's like an isometric contraction. And this time what you'll feel is, again, sensations going on in that right hip, but you'll actually feel muscles activating to push the knee down towards the floor. Okay? So what I'd suggest is when you first start doing this is just use a little bit of intensity to push down. So just gradually going, starting from 10% of maximum force and then gradually building up to a maximum contraction, whatever your maximum is. Hold it. Start with like a count of 5 and then relax. And then again, start building it up, 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 up. See if you can hold it for a count of 10 and then relax it. And constantly build up your endurance, progressively build up your ability to recruit those muscles and control the new range of motion. So again, you can also change the angles. You could come out here and then get those hip muscles to fire. You could lean back a little bit and then try to get those muscles to fire. For me personally, I've noticed if I don't pay attention to actually doing it leaned back, so I have a little less hip flexion, my ability to play hockey suffers because when I'm sitting all the time, I'm crushing those hip muscles and they stop being able to contract as well in this slightly hip flex position. So a lot of times you'll see me doing some weird stuff like leaning back and putting a hand here and just pushing a knee down just to wake up some of those muscles in the hip. So hopefully those two ideas help you out in developing a little more hip flexibility, a little more range of motion, and a little more control of your hips. Remember, pain sucks, life shouldn't.